You see it, folks. We are back in studio. Super excited to be back in studio today. Got a powerful episode for you. Running on 2 hours and 10 minutes of sleep. What's that all about? Also got to tell you the story about an interesting All Hallows Eve last night, to say the least. And then I've got a huge announcement right here on GM3X. You're going to hear it here first. That's kind of hard to say. You're gonna hear it here. You're gonna hear it here. You're gonna hear it here first. Huge announcement for BWC. So super excited to share that with you. All that, and we're also going to talk about morning routines and how you start your day ultimately determines how you finish your day. All that and more on today's episode of GM3X. I hope you're ready. It's time to rise and grind. Welcome to GM3X. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the founder of the 800% Elite Club. I hope you're ready for motivation, education, inspiration, celebrity interviews, and thought-provoking conversations, because it's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, Facebook is doing that thing again, so I'm going to need your help. That's right, I'm going to need your help this morning. I'm going to need you over there on Facebook. Tag your friends. I know, Jeff Carlin. It's the craziest stuff ever, but that's all right. We're gonna make it work. Because that's what we do. That's what we do here on the live. Listen, today is Tuesday. That's right. Today is Tuesday, November 1st, 2022. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be. First and last time it'll ever be. Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Now that I think about it, I didn't even think about that. Tuesday, November 1st, 2022. And I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. That's right. Coming to you live. Thanks, Jeff. Coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky, where my son Joel and I flew in. We got in at 12:30 a.m. I don't know if you call that last night. I don't know if you call that this morning. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But we got here at 12:30 a.m. just a few hours ago, which I'm super excited to sleep in my own bed. And I got to tell you, it's quite the experience the last couple of days, right? So Sunday morning, my son and I got up. We left at like 3:30 in the morning. We flew down to New Orleans. When we got down to New Orleans, my guy John Paul Guidry picked us up, took us down to the now Caesars Superdome, where we got to watch the Raiders get their rear end handed to them, a very polite way of putting that, by the New Orleans Saints. We got to watch that game with my buddy Bruce Miller, who's an absolutely incredible human. From there, we went back to the hotel where we had dinner with my buddy Darian Sanders, who is Simba in The Lion King on Broadway. So we went ahead and went to the Lion King show that night, and I believe we went to bed at right around 11 o'clock that night to get up the next morning at 3:20 a.m. so that we could do yesterday's episode of GM3X. And then after yesterday's episode of GM3X, I had some one-on-ones with some of my 800% Club dealers, which was amazing. By the way, shout out to the Rohrman Auto Group and to the Mills Auto Group, right? Did the one-on-ones with them. Then after my one-on-ones with them, we went back to the airport where we had a 1 o'clock flight, okay? So follow me here. So now we're back at the airport for a 1 o'clock flight. That flight's going to go from New Orleans to Atlanta, and then we're going to go from Atlanta back home to Lexington. So we're at the airport. We're there nice and early. We're there at 11:30 for our 1 o'clock flight. 1 o'clock comes around. We're supposed to be boarding. We're not boarding. They announce there's a problem with the plane. Now, this isn't a big deal because we have a 3-hour layover in Atlanta before our next flight. So it's okay, as long as they get it handled. So they tell us it's going to be 2 hours. We're like, okay, good. 2 hours is good. We can make that happen. Well, it ends up being a 2.5 hour delay at the initial airport. So now we don't leave till 3:30. We had a 3-hour layover. So we land in Atlanta, and the wonderful, amazing people at Delta. I'm just going to pause on that. The wonderful, amazing people at Delta let us know, hey, you're the only two from this plane that are going to Lexington. They know you're coming. And we had, when we landed, we had 20 minutes until that flight was leaving when we landed. Now, we still had to get off the plane and do all of that. So we get off the plane. We run, my son and I, we run through the airport, right? We have to catch a train, go over 2 terminals, over to C-33. We run, we come around the corner of C-33 with 10 minutes to go till our flight, and they'd already closed the door. Now, I don't know if you know anything about flying, but once they close the door, that's it. Boarding is complete. You ain't getting on. So they'd already closed the door. We can see our plane sitting right there. It's going to get us to Lexington, Kentucky. They won't let us on. Homeboy didn't wait. He knew we was coming. He clearly didn't care. So now it's like, okay, great. Next flight out is 5 hours later. The next flight out is at 11 o'clock. I'm like, dang. All right. Okay. So I'm not happy at all, but I'm like, okay, what can we do? Now, in the midst of all this, Joel had decided that he was going to miss out on trick-or-treating. He was going to miss out on trick-or-treating in order to go to the game because he knew our flight wasn't going to get back till 7:30, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, okay, well, we could drive home because a 5.5 hour delay, we can drive from Atlanta to the house in 5.5 hours. So I'm like, let's just drive home, and because I don't feel like sitting in this airport all night. I definitely don't want to do that. So that was my first thought. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. My son isn't going to get to trick or treat. And I got a buddy named Shaka Dyson that lives around here that I know's got a little girl. He's probably going trick or treating, right? So I called Shaka. I said, Shaka, what you doing? He said, I'm about to go with my girl trick-or-treating. I said, all right, my son and I are coming. Where are you at? He said, my house is an hour from the airport. I'm like, okay. It's now 6:15, 6:20. I'm like, boom. So we run over. We rent a car from Hertz Rent-A-Car. We drive to my boy Shaka's house. We meet up with Mr. Shaka Dyson, right? We hang out with Shaka. We go trick-or-treating with Shaka, right? So my son Joel gets to trick or treat as a Raiders player because he had a Raiders jersey. He didn't have a costume, but we drove an hour, hung out with Shaka, went trick or treating, got to do that whole deal, right? And then drove back an hour back to the airport where there was an accident on the way back. So we had to run through the airport. We got to the boarding thing with like 15 minutes to spare, maybe 19 minutes to spare. And then the lady there tried to run our tickets and she couldn't run, like the tickets wouldn't run. Something was wrong with the ticket. And so she kept trying and she couldn't get us on. And then she's like, look, we're going to have to send this flight out. I'm like, lady, no. Let me make sure that we all understand something here. It's 11 o'clock at night. I got my son. I got to get home. I've already done this with y'all. We are getting on the plane. This is my boarding pass. It says Glenn Lundy, Joe Lundy on the plane. The plane is staying until we get on the plane. And so they had to delay the plane 15, 20 minutes or so. We got on the plane. We got home last night at just after 12:30, where my son poured out his loot, his bodie, right? Poured out his bodie of candy that he pirated last night. He was super, super happy. And in the end, my son says to me, he says, Dad, that was God's timing right there. God's perfect timing. I said, yeah, you're right, son. He said, if we wouldn't have missed that plane, I wouldn't have got to trick or treat with Shaka and Savannah, his daughter Savannah. He said it all worked out great, other than the Raiders losing. I said, yes, you're right. So then I went to bed at 1:10 a.m., slept 2 hours and 10 minutes, and then boom, up at 3:20 so that I can attack my morning five, right? So I can attack my morning five, my gratitude, my goals, so I can get into that space so that I can jump in here and I can do this show with you today, right? And what's crazy about the whole thing, if you think about it, what's crazy about the whole thing is that none of it happens. Like literally none of it happens. None of what just happened over the last 2 days. None of it happens if not for the morning five. If not for the morning five routine that I put together after pulling from all kinds of sources a decade ago, if it's not for that morning five routine, none of it happens. You see, the morning five routine, not only has it created this pattern where I can get up at 3:20 in the morning, where I can run full steam ahead on 2 hours and 10 minutes of sleep. Like, not only has it created this pattern where it allows me to do some things that many other people aren't able to do yet, right? Not only does it create all that, but it also is a reset button that I look forward to. It is a time where I can walk in a state of gratitude as I know I'm moving towards my goals because I practice it every single day. So when the plane gets canceled, the one plane gets canceled, we have patience. Or when the one plane gets delayed, we have patience. The patience comes from the morning five routine. You see, when the other plane, when we miss the connection and we run around the corner and the person's not there, I'm in control of my emotions because of my morning routine, my foundation, my roots are deep. So instead of going bonkers and being all upset and spending time in that upsetness, instead it's like, okay, boom. Decision-making time. What can we do? Right? There's no time to sit there and dwell on the fact that we didn't make it. There's no time to be upset. There's no time to be angry. There's only time to make a decision. We don't make a decision quick. We don't have enough time to get to Shaka's, to get the trick-or-treating in, and to get back in time to get on a plane. That doesn't happen. You don't go from plane canceled to get the rental car, to drive an hour, to do the trick-or-treat, to go back without making quick decisions. Not allowing the emotion of the situation to interfere with your ability to turn it into what my son describes as God's divine plan. You see, it's all tied into the morning routine. How you start is how you finish. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more today, right here on GM3X. Before we do, though, you know what you got to do. Come on. We got to do some moving on this show. We got to do some dancing. That's right. We dance on this show every single day because an object in motion tends to stay in motion, right? An object at rest tends to stay at rest. So we want to get this body rocking and rolling. That music might be a little loud. Hopefully it doesn't reset it. Yeah, it did. I don't know why it does that now. But anyways, we're going to do some dancing. We're going to get to moving. If you're out on a run right now, step it up a notch. If you're lifting some weights, maybe you're doing Barbara Majeski's new challenge. Barbara Majeski's doing a challenge right now, fitness challenge. I'm doing it. We're going to work out 30 minutes a day, every day between now and Christmas. Because I'll admit, man, when I was on that run last night, I was like, dang, there's a couple extra pounds right here. We can do something about this. This is also the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. If you're over on Facebook, share it out. If you're over on Clubhouse, go and hit that share button as well. And those of you on Clubhouse, if you want to check out the full production of today's show, go ahead and click that link at the top of the screen. You're welcome to do that. And then this is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. How you doing, Gloria Bond? What's up, Valerie Oakley? I see Trisha Rue is in the building, and Tom Popelka. Glad you're here. Miss Liza Myers-Borges is up in here. CMA, let's go. We've also got Peter and Natasha. Sean Woodward's in the building. Janelle Griego and Rodney Rock Hatfield. What's up, Mary? How you doing, Kim and Mary Kim? Look, Mary is next to Kim, and then Mary Kim is next to Kim. Mary Kim. Allison and Pamsky. What's up, Judy? How you doing, Miranda? I see Deirdre Buffington is up in here. How you doing, Rick Tamburino, Robin Price, Tammy Hicks, Joni Wagner, Randy Wagner, all kinds of folks up in here today on GM3X. Hey, thanks for joining me. And I do want to make, there's a couple announcements that I have for you today. So I'm going to start with my first announcement. My first announcement is our Morning 5 planners. All right. The Morning 5 planners, these guys right here. I use this every single day, as well as thousands of people all across the country. There's a quote submitted every day right there at the top, which I love. It's where we do our gratitude goals, so on and so forth, how we can stay connected as a community. The new Morning 5 planners will come out on Black Friday. We launch them on Black Friday every year. This year, we're going to have a slate cover and a purple cover, right? Slate and purple, we always do 2 colors. So it's going to be slate and it's going to be purple. I do want to let you know, though, you cannot get them as an individual until Black Friday. However, if you want to get bulk, if you want to buy them in bulk, we have a lot of companies that will buy them in bulk for Christmas gifts for their employees. Like if you want to get your team all on the same page, then you get them Morning 5 planners, and how it works. It's how it works. If we can help them change the way they start their day, it'll make a massive impact in their life. So if you want a bulk order, if you need more than 5, if you need more than 5 Morning 5 planners, then text the word group, GROUP, text the word group to 859-208-2351. 859-208-2351. Text the word group to that number, and I will contact you. You will get a discount for buying in bulk, and we will get your order in ahead of time. We need to do that now if we want to make sure that we have those out in time for your Christmas parties and all of those things. So for those of you that want to buy a bunch of planners, text the word group to 859-208-2351. I'll talk you through what that looks like. As far as you individuals that are going to buy planners, those will come out on Black Friday. I'll let you know how that goes as it gets closer. All right. With that said, let's continue to talk about our morning routines, how we start our days, ultimately how we finish, and then I'll drop a big bomb at you here at the end. Before we do, though, my guy Brandon has got to bring us our Tuesday TikTok.
Happy TikTok Tuesday. Welcome to November, everyone. This year is absolutely flying. It's Halloween when I'm shooting this, so I'm kind of in costume. But I hope you had a good one. Hope you had a good Halloween if you celebrate it. But anyways, we're here for TikTok Tuesday. But once again, I got this one off Instagram. Don't hate me. But I tried to find it on TikTok. I just couldn't find it. But anyway, this TikTokstagram made me laugh because anytime there's someone over, I'm always thinking about how people view the house and if it's clean or not. And I know my wife is like 10 times worse. So I got a pretty big chuckle out of this. I hope you guys like it.
Hey, welcome back.
Oh, you didn't get ready. I feel overdressed. So how you been? That's gross. What's for dinner? Oh, it's not done yet. Perfect, because I arrived right when you told me to arrive, so that makes sense. Hey, don't rush. They're not even ready yet.
They haven't even cleaned this place up. You should see the baseboards. I'm gonna send you pictures.
Well, if you're going to have a house party anytime soon, do not invite that guy to your party. But anyways, guys, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one, guys.
In the beginning. The first 3 words of the number 1 best-selling book of all time. In the beginning. You know, this word beginning is used more than 107 times in the Bible. It's used 107 times. And what's crazy about that is the word beginning has a very simple definition. The definition of the word beginning is this: the point in time or space at which something starts. You see, where you start, when you start, and why you start are incredibly important. But not where, when, or why you start is as important as how you start. How you start is everything. If you look at Formula One racing, if you look at a foot race, if you look at athletic games, if you look at how you start your day, like how you start is everything. How you start a relationship, right? How you start on a new job, like how you start is everything. How you start at school. That's why we all want to get dressed up on our first day of school to make this great first impression, right? And this is why how you start your day is crucial to all success at every level. Like, I want you to think about this for just a second, all right? Okay? Here's what I want you to think about. Human beings have had electricity for roughly 1882, 1982, what's that, 140 years, right? Yeah, I'll be 45 this year. So, yeah. Human beings have had electricity for 140 years. Prior to that, when it got dark outside, you were done, right? I mean, you could light some candles, I guess, and get a little bit of light and so on and so forth. But for the most part, you didn't have electricity. You weren't connected to anybody in the outside world. You didn't really have any light. When the sun went down, you were done. And that it's only been, we've only had the electricity thing for like 140 years. Now, humanity has been on this planet. It's debatable, right? Debatable how long we've been on this planet. You know, some science will tell you we've been here 200,000 years. The Bible will tell you we've been here 4,000 years, something like that, right? It's debatable. But the period of time where we've actually had this thing called electricity is minuscule in comparison to how long humans have been functioning on this planet. And so prior to electricity, this thing called the sunrise marked the beginning. When the sun went down, you were done. When the sun came up, it was a new day. Like, you were safe. You made it. You're still alive. Congratulations. Right? And people would literally rise every day with joy and appreciation. They would celebrate the sunrise. They would work hard, right? They would work hard to both thrive and provide for themselves and their families. They would get the work done. And they would get it done when the sun shined, knowing each day that the clock that is the sun was going to shut down any possibilities of getting any more work done that night. Like, you simply, like, you couldn't work at night. Like, you just couldn't. Like, there was no light No, you didn't have a flashlight to go out into the woods or whatever. You didn't have your televisions that you could turn on, or your computers or whatever. Like, there was just no light. Like, you had to wait. You had to sit. You had to be still. And that celebration of the sunrise and that desire and need to sit still, both of those things they're still in your DNA. We're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Like, it's wired into you. But yet in today's world, we're never turning off. We never turn off. The electricity's always there. There's always light. There's always more. You could stay up later. You could work on this. You could do so on and so forth, right? It's like never off. There is no still. There is no stop. There is no quiet. There is no celebration of the sunrise anymore, because we never turn it off. And that loss of appreciation for the sun, man. So don't let that be you, all right? You see, I need you to understand. People ask me all the time, Glenn, you're running on 2 hours, 10 minutes, or 4 hours and 20 minutes. I don't know how you do it. How do you have all that energy? Listen, dude, my morning routine calls me. Like, it beckons me. I get so excited to go to bed so that I can wake up. I get so rested. It's like calling me. It's like, come get me, man. Come get me. Come find this still time where you can build, where you can spend time in gratitude and goals. Like, I'm excited when I set my alarm clock. Like, let's go. I'm ready. There it goes. That was crazy. I like banged on my table and all of a sudden I lost the mic. I got so excited about morning routine. I literally banged on the table and lost the mic. That was crazy. But my morning routine calls me. My morning routine shapes me. Like, it literally shapes the foundation of who I am. It helps me make better decisions. My morning routine protects me. You know, just the other night, somebody asked me, they're like, hey, you want to go out? You want to do this? You want to do that? I'm like, nah, man, I got my morning show. Like, I got to get up at 3:20. I get to get up at 3:20. No, thank you. I'll pass. Like, it protects me. It shapes me. It calls me. My morning routine is a priority over everything else in my life. A priority over everything else in my life. That time that I get to spend with self, the time that I get to spend with God, it's a priority over my children. It's a priority over my wife. It's a priority over sleep. It's a priority over everything. When you make the morning, how you start your day, a priority in your life, it can make the same transformational impact that it's had on me. And it's been massive. I rise every single day with intention and purpose, and you should too. You see, you and I are children of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And when you read the story of God, it starts with 3 little words. In the beginning. And those 3 words are the clue. They're the catalyst for all that's to come. The greatness that exists in you, the best version of you that you can possibly be. It all starts with those 3 words, in the beginning. You see, friends, I love you. I do. If nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. And so it's out of love that I challenge you in today's world to regain that appreciation for the sunrise, to regain the appreciation for the beginning. Here we are on November 1st. It's the beginning of a new month, the beginning of a new day. And this is your opportunity. It's your opportunity to say, today's the day. Today's the day that I'm going to prioritize myself and my relationship with God in front of all others. And I'm going to go into today, because how we start matters, I am going to go into today with intention and purpose. If you need help with that, you can go to themorning5.com. I wrote a book that breaks down 5 simple steps to an extraordinary life, 5 simple things that you can do. themorning5.com. Now, with that said, I am going to share, I told you I had a big announcement towards the end. So I've got a big announcement for you real quick. For those of you that have been watching the show, I have been doing the best I can to walk in what I believe is God's divine plan, like my son so greatly said earlier. And in that, recently I was called to do something that I don't know anyone else on the planet that has ever done. I Googled it, I searched it, I tried to find someone else that's done it. And if you know someone else that has, please let me know. But God put it on my heart to run my company on every 7-week Sabbath schedule. So what that means, if you don't know what that means, it basically means that every 7 weeks, we are going to completely shut our company down. There will be no work business-wise, no transactions, none of that will happen during that week. My employees will be paid for that week, so they'll have 7 weeks of paid vacation every year. But it is time that I am asking all of my team to spend with their spouses, to spend with their children, to sit still and to slow down so that ultimately they can speed up. And so with that said, as we shut down the company every 7 weeks, I will not be doing live episodes of this show during those Sabbath weeks. Now we will run, I've got an archive of interviews that you haven't seen. I also have some interviews from way back that are amazing. And so we're going to roll shows. There'll still be a show that we have software that allows us to set it up ahead of time. You'll still be able to listen and watch live and interact with each other. You'll still be able to do that, but I won't be here live during that Sabbath week. Our Facebook ads will be turned off. The leads will not be generated. The emails will not be answered. The phone calls will not be received. We are going to slow down and be still so that we can build intentionally. I just feel personally, for me and for my family, it's incredibly important that we don't lose sight of the power that comes in turning things off. My belief is my company will be stronger because of it. That is my belief. And we'll see how it goes. Because we're way out in the jungle. There's no roadmap for how to shut your company down every 7 weeks. there ain't one out there, I promise. But I did want to share that with all of you. The first week is next week. So next week, November 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, I will not be here live. There will be a live show, or there will be a show that is set up that you'll be able to enjoy and engage with one another. But this guy right here is going to be at the house with like a little paintbrush, flirting with my wife and, patching up holes and doing the homeschool thing and taking naps. That's where I'll be. All right. So just wanted to share that. With that said, that is today's episode of GM3X. We're going to head over to Clubhouse and have a discussion around today's episode. So if you're watching live, come join me over there. If you're watching on the recording, we are in Breakfast with Champions until 1 o'clock Eastern time on the Clubhouse app with motivation, education, inspiration. So you're welcome to come join us over there. If you missed all of those time windows, come back again tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We're going to do this all over again right here on GM3X. Have an amazing Tuesday.
So far away, I saw you not so long ago. Was it just yesterday? Got that old feeling that I know. In the dark of the night, I'll be alright. The sun will arise. Of messages overtaking what I know. A war is a whisper, and it's coming for my soul. In the dark of the night, I can see the light. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. Set me free. I was searching for someone to fight for me. I'll remember it's your light that shines on me. I won't be afraid, I will look to the light. I will not be shaken, I know it will be alright. 'Cause you're with me, I know that the sun will rise.